Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. So let's see what happened this week to tell you about. I finished Rosa, as you saw if you looked in the chat. I think she turned out pretty well, all things considered. I mean, like I say, the stuffing process was very effortful for me. It took a lot of a surprising amount of physical strength, weirdly. She's filled with mostly polyfill, fiberfill, around the outside, up against the duct tape, and then the inside is craft paper, which worked out pretty well doing it that way, because just using the polyfill by itself was too soft and too squishy. It didn't fill out the dress form properly, and the craft paper by itself was not quite squishy enough, in the sense that it didn't, it would make big air pockets, which then also would not fill out the dress form properly, and I couldn't compress it enough by itself to fill in all of those gaps completely, or enough. So the combination of the two worked out pretty well, but it still took a lot of compression because you had to compress the paper down still. So a lot of pushing, a lot of physical effort, but it's done now, and that's the important thing. I haven't done anything more since then, but one step at a time. Baby steps. What else? Oh, the flood. I also told you about the flood in the chat. So yeah, the water is currently down. Let's hope it stays that way. Again, our house is fine, but the neighbors across the street, man, had a bad time. A bad time. The people on the corner only had a comparatively small amount of water in their house, but the people across the street, their house is kind of sits in a hole, and they had apparently several feet of water in their house, so that's very bad. Yeah, so they had a hard time, and apparently nobody warned them about this when they bought the house. So yeah, it is not currently raining, but it has been raining on and off. It is expected to continue raining on and off, so I don't know. Hopefully it will be okay, though. It does not currently show any signs of doing that again. And that is not, to be clear, that is not something that happens all the time. When I say that it has happened before, it has happened before, but it's not something that just happens all the time. The last time we had a really big flood, which was bigger than this one, was when I was in high school. And we've had a couple of smaller ones here and there, but this is not a thing that happens constantly, but because of things being the way they are, probably gonna start happening more often. Knock on wood and everything. So yeah, so this is not a constant, but it has happened before. So anyway, so basically things are currently doing okay. The weather's okay. The flood situation is okay. back to its usual state. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time like focusing. There was a migraine this week. You might be able to tell that I've got the green lights on. Although this is mostly just sort of I turn them on for the migraine situation, and then I have just kind of not had enough brain power to change them back to the other color. So that's why we're still green mostly. Like, my eyes are okay, pretty much. I will say though, like a few months ago, I told you that I started the over-the-counter stuff that my allergist recommended for the migraine situation, and it has helped a lot. I've only had a few migraines since I started taking it, which is way better than I was doing before. So, like, it has actually helped. But yeah, like, I had a migraine a few days ago, and like my brain is still kind of like Swiss cheese. So, like, I'm sorry if I'm like, I think I'm repeating myself a lot. And like, I think that my sentences are maybe not as clear as I would like them to be. So that's why. I mean, not that it's that much different from my normal state of being, but Yeah, so, okay. So basically what I'm saying is things are not too bad at the moment. Everything is going okay. We're doing good. This sounds like a very complainy video, but in fact it is the opposite of that. Things are better than they were before. Yeah, so... yeah, so no, brain has stopped. Okay, so I will see you next week, I hope. I will update you in the chat if anything particularly important happens. I love you all. I will see you next week. Don't forget to be awesome.